So I wanted to share a quick little story time with y'all about faith. And I know we all have stories. Like, we should all have a story about how God has came through for us. And my story at that time, I was not even in an intimate relationship with God. I was not following Christ like that. Like, I was a believer, but I was nowhere near where I am today. So, but the faith that I had, looking back now, the faith that I had is the faith that I'm trying to get back to now. It's so weird. But anyway, let's get into the story. So this has been years ago when I was trying to get my first apartment. I needed this apartment like really, really bad for the things that I was going through at that time. And the place that I was applying for, they had like a waiting list. So I was higher up on that waiting list, like the placement that I was in, it was a higher number. And I remember telling my mom about it, and she was like, you got to keep calling them. Like, you're literally going to have to like bug them and get on their nerves. Like, you got to keep calling them. So I started calling them probably like twice a week, if not more, just constantly, like, has the number changed? Has the number that I'm in moved up? Or, I just kept calling them. At that point, I had faith that one day when I call, they're going to say, you got the apartment. So I kept calling them and kept calling them. And finally, the lady said to me, you keep calling. She said, you keep calling. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to call some of these numbers, because at that point I was number 13. And she said, I'm going to call some of these people. I'm going to see if I can reach out just to see where they are, because I have not heard anything from them. And you're the only one that keeps calling. Oh my gosh. So she ended up calling people. She called me back. Maybe it was 30 minutes to an hour. I don't know exactly. But she called me back and she said, well, this is how God works. Like, when God has favor over you, but you got to move in faith. You got to know that he is going to come through for you. And at that time, I wasn't even fully dependent on faith, but I knew my actions showed faith. So I wasn't speaking out loud that I had faith. I was just moving in faith, if that makes sense. So this lady told me, she said, because you keep calling, and I have reached out and called all of these people, she said some of their numbers are not working. I guess maybe they got new numbers. And she said some of them are just not picking up. She said, so we're going to go ahead and move you to number 1. We're going to go ahead and move you for the next available apartment. So she said, actually, we have one that's available, but it's got to be clean. They've already did some of the work in there, but it got to be cleaned up. She said, as soon as that is done, soon as we get done with that, you can go in and look at the apartment. And I told her, I said, I don't need to look. I've already been inside of them. I know what they look like. I need this apartment. I have the money. So whatever we need to do next, I'm ready. So she said, okay, well, you can come over and do the paperwork. We'll get your lease and everything ready, and you pay your deposit, and we'll give you the keys. So I say all that to say, I'm thinking back and remembering the times that I had huge faith, and I wasn't even seeking God in them moments. I was just moving and trusting that it was going to work out, and it did. So faith without works is dead. I just wanted to share that with y'all, that I am currently trying to find that faith again, where I was just moving and trusting that it was going to work out. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Be moved by faith.